Hello, Lee Mallett from Mallett Buildings. Today we're going to go over four items. The first item I want to talk about is going to be post frame versus steel. I guess I'm going to address this first. Mr. Kevin Lee, apparently he's not selling as many wood frames the way he's trying to get people to think wood is stronger than metal. I'm not trying to think, I'm telling you wood is better than metal, number one. Number two, I don't know where you got that at, but I'm selling almost 13 buildings a week. I ship out almost 10 to 12 a week. I build 10 to 12 a week, and I got about 100 ready on the board with another 100 waiting to finish. So if your comment is act like I'm desperate, you're wrong. I'm just trying to increase my business. That's all. And once again, we'll bring this when you started saying I'm trying. No, this is a problem, folks. Oh, look, you want to buy steel, go buy steel. Just understand. These anchor bolts, when they gone, the building's gone. It's just that simple. I don't know why we're arguing this point. What it is, it is. I didn't make this up. It is factually correct that this is what's going to happen. And if you have a wood structure, you're not going to have any issues with rust or termites or rotten fungal decay because it's 100% treated lumber. And on top of that, we put our post inside of a post protector as a 500-year lifespan. So yes, that is my opinion. You're welcome to yours. But I believe wood is better than steel. Point in fact, those who are watching me, what's your house built out of? Wood or steel? In today's world, probably still today, 99.9% of the buildings or homes are built out of wood. And that's for your family. So if you're going to build an accessory structure or a commercial building, why wouldn't you want to go wood? Come standard with 4 and 12 pitch, whereas steel's going to come in at 1 or 2 and 12. Oh yeah, they can make 4 and 12, but they're going to charge you more money. Our cost to do wood versus steel is going to be a 25 to 30% savings. Let's talk about Mr. Spinner. This is exactly why they build skyscrapers out of wood. I didn't know we were building skyscrapers. Are you building skyscrapers down here? That's a totally different concept. Show me the next slide. In New York, they got to have pilings to support those big structures. But me and you are not building skyscrapers, okay? I'm not a proponent that we're building skyscrapers. I mean, but this is a picture on your site, Mr. Spinner. Looks to me like you kind of like wood too. That looks like a post. Looks like a truss. It doesn't look engineered, but you got a post. So let me show you the difference now. Give me the, oh, yeah, here. Now, look at the number of trusses and the spacing of my trusses versus your spacing. You're 20 feet. I'm every 2 feet with a scissor truss. Look at how far my purlins are. My purlins are 2x6s every 2 feet. Your purlins, let's find your purlins. I can't see them. Let me see here. Yep, right here. Your purlins look like they're about 5 feet. The girts aren't on this building, but if I look at your girts, it's going to look just like that. So I got twice as many purlins, twice as many girts, and I got 4 times as many trusses supporting that roof system. I have a column every 5 feet. You're going to put a column every, looks like 20 feet. You put them far apart. That's the difference in steel and post frame construction. Now, look, stick frame, they got the same problem. They're anchored on the ground with that bolt, okay? We're the only structure that's not using anchor bolts to hold down our buildings. And if you look at the comparisons, you look at these two buildings, I think you're going to see there's a lot more material in what I'm doing. And these are all, look, these are all stamped. These are made at the plant. These are all engineered. This whole thing is engineered. Over here, yeah, you're engineered too. But I'm going to, when I finish this building, putting all the purlins and all the girts, I'm going to have 3 times as many screws applying the cladding with the sheet metal to my building versus you. You're going to put a screw. I'm going to put a screw. I'm going to have way more. Consequently, my building will have way more screws attaching the cladding to the building, which is where the real strength comes in. And guess what? I'm way stronger. Just, it's a factual statement. I mean, you look at it. And look, if you'd ever like to come on here, I got another stool right here. We'll have a lively discussion. Anybody wants to come in here and argue with me or discuss this with me, we won't argue. We'll have a lively discussion. And if you believe that you want to come on. I'm good. I love it. I love all that. But there's your comparisons. Okay, let's go to the next. We're working on next. Okay, my steel has a 40-year warranty throughout our supply as long as the proper maintenance has been performed. Who's going to do that maintenance? You ain't got to do no maintenance in my building. But are you offering to do all the maintenance for 40 years for your customer that buys that building? I can't find, wish you'd send it to me, I can't find this warranty in writing. I searched all morning under warranties with steel structures. I've been trying to find out that fact. The fact, I think we sent something to you and asked you if you had that. But I'm asking, if not, I'm asking you now. Send me a copy of that warranty. I'd love to see it, but here's the problem. Who is going to maintain the structure? You going to do that? What if the customer doesn't do it? Sounds like what an insurance company does. Well, you didn't properly maintain it, therefore it's not warranted. That's what they do. I'm afraid that's what would happen. Unless you, when you sell every building, are going to go there and maintain your customers so that their maintenance keeps for their 40-year warranty. I don't think you will. Maybe you will. If you will, that's fine. Just make sure the customers that buy from you put that in writing. That'll become very expensive. But the bottom line is, you don't need to maintain my post in a post protector. There's no maintenance. It's got a lifetime warranty, gets rot and fungal decay, and rust, and termites. I guess because of that, I would be better, you would think. If you're offering this and I'm offering a lifetime warranty, I would think that wood's better than steel. If we're going to start talking about which one's better, this one you have a 40-year warranty, I have a lifetime warranty. I must be better. Right? So let's move to the next. Mr. Allen. I watched that one live. I see the pros of it. I'm not sure if it's a huge difference for me. If I live closer to the Gulf, I would definitely understand. My neighbor has a 3-car carport, barely anchored. It's been there for, I'm glad you said barely anchored. It's just a matter of time before Mother Nature runs a 50 to 100 mile an hour gust with a thunderstorm or a tornado, and that's going to go down. But you're right, barely even anchored down. I agree with you 100%. I think that tubular steel, and that's what you're talking about here, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. I'm going to get after that. But you said, look, you are north, the rest doesn't stop north of I-10. It continues on. And the thing about it is, as years go by, that's going to deteriorate those anchor bolts. And so I don't care if you're in Shreveport, I don't care if you're in wherever, the deterioration of the anchor bolt is the critical part. It will not sustain these winds. If that anchor bolt gives, it's going over. I mean, just that simple. What else we got? On your budget, let me address that for a second. I will match anybody's price, apples to apples, and beat them by $1,000. Send me the bid. But it's got to be apples to apples. And I'm getting ready to tell you why them tubular steels aren't apples to apples in a minute. What do we got next? Tubular structures. We're going to go there next. That's a tubular structure. They're cheap, but I built a 4x4 building almost to the same amount. It's way better than this because I'm still anchored 3 feet in the ground with my 4x4s. I still got all my girths stuff. The problem with here is these anchor bolts. They're going to rust. When they rust, it's all over. Next deal. So we now have our engineers studying these tubulars to see what's really going on. Preliminary, and I'll have more and more each time I get on, I'm going to talk about it, because this tubular thing is really, you look at them and you can tell they're flimsy. You can tell they're not strong. So, tubular, the 15 gauge tubes, 1/16 thick, will bend at L150 under hurricane conditions. Here's what they're doing. Those wind loads are not for hurricane conditions. You have to be a deflection of L240 or L360 for a hurricane. None of those little structures, they're running these little structures at L150. They're not addressing the structure allowable deflection at, it needs to be this or this, which is where we are. We're at L240 or 360. 360, more than likely us. But my engineers put this together. They're doing some more research, and I'm going to continue to tell you that those little things do. Now, another thing he talks about when I was talking to my engineers is this. He says when they talk about wind load, they're talking about them breaking or coming apart. They bend over. Well, that's not considered it's still considered wind loaded just when it bends. What they're saying is it won't break apart. Hold tight. We're starting soon with a bunch of good stuff. Remember, what's he got? I saw several of these structures fall over during
hurricane.
Which structures?
Tubular.
Oh, tubular. Yeah, yeah. Mr. Burrell, you're 100% correct. It's you know, you can spend money on something. Let's say a Mallett building is $25,000. And let's say you can buy that one there for $18,000. You almost, why spend 18 on something that's substandard when for another 6,000 you're getting something that can do the job? You know, it's like buying a car. If I can buy a car for $50,000, but for $55,000 I can get all the leather seats and the power windows and everything else, I would be a fool not to buy the $55,000 car because I'm almost 3/4 of the way there. I've done spent 50 grand. Why not? I mean, if I'm going to do it, I might as well go for the gusto, I would think, and I'm going to get everything I want. In the building business, what you're going to get is a way better building. Okay? When it comes to the Mallett building, I can tell you right now, it is engineered with 2x8 trusses. The only people I know doing that in the nation. It does come with a 10-year warranty. Oh, but I've been in business 25 years. I know I got one little competitor out there. He decided to follow me. There's only one problem with him. He's only been in business 2 years. How are these people giving you warranties for 6 years or 10 years when they only been in business 2 years? That is, I just don't understand how anybody buying a building could say, but you've only been in business 2 and you're giving me, how do I know you're going to be in business? Because the national average will tell you, if a guy, just when a startup starts, 6 years before they're going to make it. So if a guy's selling you a building, he's giving you a 2-year warranty, I mean a 10-year warranty, and he's only been in business 2 years, he ain't made it past the 6-year threshold. He's even going to survive, much less be there in 10 years. Prime example, look at SLPS. Been in business 8 years, started out, got away with it, got caught, people kept doing business with him, and then all of a sudden Peter caught Paul. And now multiple charges all over the state of Louisiana and some in Texas, I've been told. So I go back to those red flags. You know, I keep telling everybody, I know all of you guys in the steel business. What's this, Eric? The cheap, yeah. All those guys that are in the steel business and post frame, when I start telling you the red flags to look for, and I got people in the steel business you should watch too. But anyway, let's go over the red flags one more time. Before you buy your building, check with the Secretary of State. That's going to tell you who the proper parties are that started the business. It's going to tell you when they started the business, okay? When they were incorporated. It's going to tell you if they're a Louisiana corporation too. Why is that important? Well, look, let's take Reed's. Reed's was sold out to Carterstone. Carterstone's from Delaware. Then they sold out to Fortify, who's not registered to the Secretary of State, yet is now the company they're pounding away at. And they're from Delaware too, I think. They're not from here. They're all out of state. Why is that important? All the profits of those companies leave our state. They're not reinvested. Last night, I was at a function, Whistle Stop. Whistle Stop's where the kids are going through divorces and stuff. It's a safe place, okay? And last night, this is my 3rd or 4th year, last night I left $20,000 on the table for that. I don't see these out-of-state people with the community involved. Let's talk about McNeese. In fact, tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'll have the McNeese AD here to talk about McNeese on Louisiana politics. You're welcome to join us. But look, out-of-state people aren't vested in our state. They're here to take our money and leave with it. Just that simple. Why don't they reinvest their profits here? I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying if you're going to buy from someone who's going to keep the money in Louisiana, buy from somebody local who's going to keep the money, give it to charities here. That's just one of the few. Last night just happened. I gave the state police $8,000 so they can get more vests. We do that every year. I can go on and on and on, and I will. Well, at some point I'm going to do that. But, you know, I brought, here's Brent Dugas again. Last night, Google hits him. 2 more charges. Once he was picked up on the 17th, then he was picked up on the 26th in Vermilion Parish. It's not counting the other charge we've been talking about. So let's get back to the red flags. So let's just take this as an example. Red flag. You'd have checked at the Secretary of State. Okay, he's there. Yeah? Then the next thing I recommend you do is you go to State Contractors Board and see if he's a licensed contractor. And Brent was a home improvement registered. Okay? He could have built up to $75,000. He can't, none of them can do it anymore, and I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, he could have built up to $75,000. Okay, so he was registered with the state. He's got a little home improvement. He's not a licensed contractor. He's a registered home improvement, which is basically a handyman. That should have been a little bit of a red flag. But let me tell you the big red flag. When you'd have punched license violations, residential contracting without a license, that's a big red flag. That's still your money. You still can do what you want with it. But to me, okay, the first one, okay. The second one, well, he's not licensed, residential, red flag. Next one, violate, ooh, big red flag. Now, you've had these three, you checked out the three deals, the three keys that you're looking for. The last two keys are, how long has he been in business? If he's been in business 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, the longer in business, the more validity that they're going to stand behind what they do. So when a guy is 1 year, 2 years, and I'm not, what do they tell me I do? I'm not bashing, being factual. And you guys that have 1 or 2 years, if you don't like what I'm saying, either get out of the business or learn how to compete with me, because you're going to have to. I'm not going to stop. It's that simple. Go get you some character. I don't know what you're going to do, but you know what? Hustle. You got to hustle. Quit crying about it, because I ain't going away. Okay? I'm not going nowhere. I've been here at 25, and next year will be 26. And you're still going to only be 2 years or 3 years or 4, whatever it is. But you got to, it's competition. You got to learn how to get around it. You got to learn how to promote yourself, brother. You can do it. But stop, don't do none of this other stuff. Don't get caught violating the law. Because as far as I'm concerned, any consumer that buys from someone who's violating the law is asking for trouble. Now, the last thing, the last key that you need to check into is go see their place of business. I don't think I have a picture, but I'm going to tell you right now. If he's operating out of his home, okay. But it's a red flag. You need to take that into consideration. Does he have any equipment? If he doesn't have any equipment at all, you have to take that into consideration. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you these are factors that you should look into. They're red flags. Okay? They're red flags. I'm not saying what to do, where to buy. I'm just giving you, because I've been chairman of state contract for over 17 years, and I see this stuff every month or every time I go to a board meeting in Baton Rouge. It is terrible. And I'll bring it up again. The lady here in Lake Charles, 2 days later after Brent got caught, she lost $160,000. If she'd have followed the red flags, I think she had a great chance that she wouldn't have lost her money. And folks, $160,000 is a lot of money. Now she had, her $160,000 is gone. Her house, her res is not finished. So she's really out way more than $160,000, right? Way more. So let's try to stop that. That's what I'm doing. To my competitors who don't like the fact that I'm telling people that, I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to warn them and try to tell them how to stop from getting in trouble. And quit worrying about me and go worry about yourself, my friend, because you ain't stopping me. So, you know, whatever. Let's get it on. Let's compete. It's okay. Now we're going to get to the new law. Today, a company submitted a bid, which was handed to me on a price match. Under the new law, he has violated the law. He has a home improvement registration and has offered to build a structure. The new law has dropped the threshold from 75 to 50. That's one issue. But under 50, he cannot build new structure. He cannot do foundations. The law was changed. So this deal here that went on this morning, and it was, what was the name? I'm going to tell you who they are. Southern, as of today, according to LSLBC, still home improvement, he cannot be bidding new construction. Even if it's under $50,000. He has no business bidding on that stuff. Go get your license. I never could figure out, maybe some of you got a comment who do it, Why wouldn't you go take the test? It would help you sell. It's a red flag you need to fix. Why don't you go become a licensed residential contractor? Can you imagine using a doctor who didn't have a license? You wouldn't do it, would you? Well, why would you use somebody to build your building who's not licensed, not running around with that little home improvement, it used to be $75 work comp policy, and guess what? He's building up to $75,000. Then they were breaking the law every time we turned around until we caught them. So I don't understand why someone who wants to be a contractor in this business, why doesn't he just go get his, like any, what is he, can't pass the test? What's the problem here? What is the problem? Do they not want to be able, there's a law, you got to stand behind that work, the foundation, for at least, I think, 5 years. There's also another law out there. If you do this to an elderly person, you can do up to 5 years. If you commit contractor fraud on an elderly person in today's world after the August 1st signing, you can do 5 years. That's a good law. I see elderly people every time I go to Baton Rouge that are suckered in or whatever because they're just too naive and they know nothing about it, and they want to believe and they trust people, and they get hurt so bad. And all of us in the contractor world should be concerned about that. How do you do that? Just follow the law. Go get your proper license. Quit doing things behind. Quit getting caught. Then you might be able to compete with me. If that's your goal, instead of calling and complaining every time I turn around, you're talking about steel, you do that, man, don't worry about that. You ain't going to change that. That's not going to change me. Make yourself better. That's what you need to do. If you want to be a contractor, become better at what you do. That's what I've always done. I've been doing it for 25 years. And I've always progressed better. Whether it be me, whether it be my buildings I build, or the people that work for me. We're striving always to be better than we are. But anyway, do I have any more questions? Nope. Well, look, thank you all for listening. We appreciate you. And I'll be back tomorrow. I want to go down that list tomorrow. We're going to have Heath Schroeder on Louisiana politics and news. And I'll be interviewing him right here. And we're going to be talking to him about what's going on with the electric departments, what's going on in McNeese, which is, once again, community involvement. That's where I'm at with that one. But anyway, I invite y'all to come at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Louisiana Politics and News. Turn your notifications on. Hey, love to have you. I think you're gonna. I don't know if you've never met Heath. He's been a great AD. McNeese has become, in the last year, last couple of years, has really turned the corner. They're doing a great job. They went to the NCAA finals, and so after he comes this week, next week, I think I have the president of McNeese, Wade Rouse. And he's going to come in and talk about the school and the enrollment and everything that's going on there. And I said, I think it's going to be very informative. I think that we as a community, we need to support McNeese. McNeese is critical to our operations as far as Calcasieu Parish and actually Southwest Louisiana. And then the following week, we're going to bring the man himself, Will, the basketball coach, the guy that took us to the Final Four, the guy that's really, Will Wade, was formerly at LSU. And now he's at McNeese. He brought us to the Final Four last year. I think he's going to come here and talk about his team. He's going to talk about where he's going this year. He'll make a prediction, I'm sure, what he's going to do. And you know what? Most of his predictions come true. But anyway, join us the next 3 weeks for that. We'll continue to have, this week, probably some more stuff on Mallett Building. And but look, thank you all for listening. If you ever have any questions or if you need any help, call me at 337-515-2154. Every customer has my cell number. So if I can help you, give me a call. If you got a problem with State Contractors Board, there's some issues, give us a call. I'll try to help you all I can. Or you can call us at our office, 337-214-0428. My salesman, my building experts are waiting for you to call. We want to help you get your dream building today. Once again, thank you all for listening and have a good day.